Hi there, my name is Dr. Koch. I am an emergency medicine consultant based in Chelsea, as well as a practicing lifestyle medicine doctor based out of Marylebone Health Group and for Little Longevity. The topic I want to talk to you today is about behaviour change. So did you know that up to 88% of people who commit to a New Year's resolution fail within the first few weeks? And what we're going to look at is why is that stat so high for that thing? And what that really comes down to is behaviour change models. This is a well-researched topic, and the first good reference for this has been Mishi et al., who developed a model back in 2011. However, it has been built upon, and there have been other models suggested, and the latter one I'm going to use is by Fogg et al., the Stanford professor, which is called the Fogg Behavioural Model. And I think it's a really good model to use because it's quite simplistic and you can apply it from really basic principles through to much more complex areas of work. And I'll run you through one of the simple models as we go through this. So what is the Fogg Behavioural Model? It is essentially a formula that goes around an equation which is behaviour equals motivation, ability and prompt. So let's walk through those. Motivation, I think everyone thinks, is the cornerstone really of influencing change. However, ultimately motivation is the least reliable one, and that's where that statistic comes in for such a high dropout rate for people who try to create, for example, New Year's resolutions. And the reason being is because as tasks get difficult, as time goes on much longer, your motivation naturally reduces. So we can't rely on motivation as a prompt. So what we need to do is use other areas of the behavioural model to try and not rely on our motivation to be able to enable behavioural change, as well as creating lasting health habits, for example. So the next area instead of motivation is ability. And generally speaking, if something has low ability, so it's easy to do, you're much more likely to sustain that behavior change. Whereas if you need a really high ability to be able to do something, it's much harder to maintain that change. So in order to create lasting habits, if you start off making something with low ability, you're much more likely to walk through that process, and then as the ability rises, you don't have to rely on motivation so much. However, the last one is probably the most important one, which is prompt. So in order to action any form of behavior, you need a prompt to initiate that behavior in the first place, otherwise it won't happen. And I'm going to walk you through an example that Fogg often gives, is that, say someone, for example, wants to create a New Year's resolution because they're really bad at flossing their teeth and their dentist has been telling them off, is what you need to do is keep it really simple. So your prompt is going to be putting your dental floss next to your toothbrush on your desk, where what you're going to use every day, assuming you're good at brushing your teeth. And your ability you're going to keep really low. So all you're going to do for the first few days at least, if not the first week, is just focus on flossing one tooth. That's all you have to do for the first few days. And therefore your ability is low, so you're not relying on your motivation to be able to complete that act. And what you'll find over time, once you get good at doing that, once that becomes very easy, is you'll be like, well, I flossed one tooth now, I'm here, I may as well just start flossing the next one and the next one, and you'll incrementally increase until you're flossing all your teeth, and then before you know it, you've created a lasting habit change. Because you've got your prompt in place, your ability started off low and gradually increased, but you've not required that same level of motivation like when you started. One of the key other factors for that is if you're having a bad day, if you're short on time, is that you just need to keep that behavior going. And instead of just saying, oh right, I'm not going to do that this day, what I would want you to do is just go back to the first step, which is at least just floss one tooth, because what you'll probably find is that actually, well, I've started doing it now, I may as well do all the rest of it once that habit's been built in. So in summary, quick overview about behavioural change that can make a difference from small topics right through to larger areas of your life, and that is using the Fogg model, which consists of behaviour equals motivation, ability and prompt.